I'm Jetta God. I'm the CEO of two brands. One is a clothing brand called My Hustle Has Purpose, where we go ahead and we inspire others to believe in their hustle. And I also own a design agency called Hustle Design Agency, where we just create high quality websites and graphics. We create for today and we build everything about analytics. We believe that there's no such thing as luck, and hustle beats luck every time. So the hardest part about entrepreneurship to me is truly the highs and the lows. So people don't give this enough credit, because when you go into entrepreneurship, there's going to be some really, really, really great months, and then there's going to be some not so great months. And when I mean not so great months, you can go from having your best month to literally getting no sales the next month. And honestly, it's just that you have to keep that faith and you have to keep pushing, even when you don't understand why. Like even when it seems like nothing is working out, you kind of just gotta learn how to pivot, really pay attention to the analytics. Like, what did you do in your good months that you didn't do in the month that you failed? And you have to be honest with yourself, because there is failure and there is success. So like some days you're gonna fail. Well, you have to, really have that self-awareness and really be willing to problem solve and say, well, why did I fail last month and why did I do so good the month before, or whatever it is. And that's kind of how you are able to keep going and like restructure and make another month better. So as a first year entrepreneur, I mean, to be honest, I'm not, this isn't my first year in entrepreneurship, but this is my first year where I'm in 100% an entrepreneur. I don't have a job or anything like that. So um as a first year, like 100% in my business, that's something that I'm definitely learning, and I'm understanding like, okay, I gotta go through the motions of, is this actually like, did I actually fail last month, or is this a slow season? Like there's a lot of things that, you just have to be ready and prepared for. And you have to have the will to just keep going through it all, because it's not always going to be easy. I knew what business I wanted to start because, well, I was always doing design. So I started graphic design when I was in middle school. I taught myself a little bit, and then I went on to learn it in high school because I went to a special magnet program. And so eventually I would go on and I would study in college. And some point when I was in college, I realized that I wanted to have a clothing brand. I realized that, clothing brands really speak, like they really speak to people. They spoke to me, and I understood that, people really follow like these movements. So I knew I wanted that to happen. And I would at the time I was in college for like computer design, I think computer game design, because I was into design, but I thought I was gonna, design games and whatnot because I was a little bit of a gamer. But when I really landed on like these clothing brands, they would touch me. I was like, you know what, I want to do this. So how can I do this? What can I major in to help me get this done in a way that works in my passion and works in my purpose? So I decided to go ahead and get a degree in graphic design. And actually, what took me so long to get here though, because I, this was like in 2012, I want to say. What took me so long to get here though was that I actually had a professor that was like, "Oh, you're not gonna ever make money selling t-shirts." And I'm not gonna lie, like I started a brand while I was in college and I quit. And I quit because he really got to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this graphic design stuff for what it is. I'm gonna learn web design and I'm gonna make money, run up some bags, because for the most part, based on society, they do make great money. So that's what I went ahead and did. And I realized though that, I got a job in marketing, working as a graphic designer. I got a couple other jobs, and I just realized, well, I was good at what I did. Like I knew that I still want to own my own company. Like I've always had really high ambitions, and I've always felt like I really wanted to be wealthy. And the kind of wealth that I want to obtain, I couldn't get at a job. I couldn't get at a like 9 to 5 job, even with a great salary. So I was like, you know what, I gotta find a way to go ahead and plan my way out and start my own business. And that's when I came up with my design agency. So that's why I have Hustle Design Agency. Like Hustle Design Agency does still live, even though like I don't work for a 9 to 5 anymore. Like I do have a company where I still do these things. We create websites, we create graphics, we create advertisements, because that is my skill, and I'm really good at it. And we also create now. We're to the point where we create other brands. But in my last year, my 9 to 5 is when I really was like, you know what? although I have hustle design agency, at the time I didn't have hustle design agency, I would freelance on the side. But although I have these skills and I knew I could get money here, it wasn't about the money. I wanted to create a brand that had purpose, that had meaning. Like I had gotten really sick, got kidney disease, had surgery on my kidney, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I wanted to do something that had more impact, more purpose than just like creating graphics and websites. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I originally wanted to do. Like forget what that professor had to say. Uh, People have done it. People made $1 million doing it. So why can't I? So that's when went ahead and started my brand, My Hustle Has Purpose. I started it last year. First we started off with vinyl. Then I went ahead and did screen print transfers. And now I have everything is embroidered. So my next collection, like you can even see it. So my next collection, you know, everything is embroidered versus the vinyl. Obviously, most of you should know how vinyl looks. And then like this was like my original collection where I had did this in vinyl first, and then I did it in transfer. So this is a screen printed transfer. But yeah, so that's kind of how I knew. Like I just always stayed true to myself and stayed true to my talents, and kept going from there. And knowing that I feel like I know what I want, and I feel like I have a gift and I have a message that I really, really want to share with other people. And yeah, so honestly, it will be that you need to have self-awareness. So what do I mean by self-awareness? You need to understand what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what are you willing to do, how much are you willing to sacrifice? Like look up self-awareness and start to go through the motions of self-awareness before you get into entrepreneurship, or should I say before you get into solo entrepreneurship. And what I mean by solo entrepreneurship, and maybe that's not the correct term, but I mean by like not having a job and going 100% in on it. Um, Ideally, I recommend that you start your journey while working for your job to see if that's even what you want to do, or if there's something that you might need to pivot more before you go ahead and quit. Because again, you've got to go through these highs and lows, like they're natural, they're gonna happen. So I would recommend that you really go through that motion of self-awareness, learn about yourself, and really find your gifts and your talents. And that's going to help you excel, and that's going to help you learn and understand what kind of business you want to run. There are certain things that I've had to learn through the process, and there's always going to be certain learning curves. Like you're never going to know some things until you do it. So but just understand that self-awareness is super important. So the moment you feel like you don't like something that you're doing, try to sit there and discover what it is about it, and see if that's really for you, or if maybe you just need to make a change. So yeah, finding self-awareness. Awesome. So that's all for today. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and post more things like this. If you guys have any questions that you want to get answered, please let me know and I'll go ahead and answer it just like this on the channel. So I appreciate you for watching.